Hello and welcome to another episode of the Get Out of Gaming Plus podcast, episode 11 of season 3. I am one of your hosts, Ben. With me is Alex. What's up,
Hello,
Alex?
hello. I'm doing
Uh,
fine.
we are a weekly conversational podcast that talks everything from video games to movies to anime, everything that you love in your nerdy heart. I got a good show today. We're going to talk about a new Witcher game. They talked that Project CD Red said they were going to be working on. Hopefully this is not like the awesome disaster of Cyberpunk. Hogwarts Legacy showed a little more video. We know it's coming out this year. And it's Nintendo Switch 5th year anniversary. Happy 5th birthday, Switch. Great show. But before we do that, we like to talk about what we're playing or a hidden trophy. Alex, do you have a hidden trophy or do you have a game you've been playing?
Let's see. Do I have anything? I'm looking. I spent too much money on Pokemon cards. I need to stop. That's my thing. That's my issue right now. I spent hopefully they're not listening. But I have spent about 70, maybe more, 60, $85 in Pokemon cards in the past week.
Well,
and I've gotten nothing out of them, like nothing good. So I should probably stop.
I have a whole shoebox of when my kids were big into those. I don't know what's good.
Yeah, no,
I don't know.
I have the new stuff. Brilliant Stars. And yeah, there's nothing good there, you know? Like there's probably some good cards in there, but nothing I'm getting. So oof. As far as games go, I mean, I guess this can kind of tie in to what we've both been playing ish. Thank you to the great people over at I don't know their Twitter. I don't know what their Twitter is called. I already forget what their game company is called, but I'm terrible. Anno Mutationem. I don't know how you say that, but I got that thankfully from their PR people. I got it for PC to stream and we have a video coming out here hopefully soon of our first impressions, but I also streamed it as well. Yeah, you got it on PlayStation 5.
Yes. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I got the first boss is where I'm at right now.
And that's what I did too. Like the crane boss and...
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, and then I got the different sword. So yeah, that's where I ended my stream. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. There are a lot of issues, I guess, that they're addressing, and they did address. Like there was an update today on Steam, because there was a big issue. I guess not big issue. Things that I noticed, which were like the subtitles weren't right with the actual voices of what they were saying. And there's just some other things, like little things like that. And I guess what they said, and they like took a lot of feedback about it, and what they said was the game script changed really late into development. Like, and they decided to keep like the script of like what the people said instead of trying to make them say what they said. So they have to go in and actually change like little words here or there for the script. And it's an indie game, so like I don't blame them because the game seems to be functional for the most part.
Yeah.
I had some issues here or there, but overall, like it's been fairly stable.
Yeah, I had no issues when I was playing it.
Yeah.
Now, and I think once I got the combat down, then I did really well. It just takes a little bit of getting used to it.
Yeah.
I think my only complaint so far is there's so much dialogue. I mean, there's a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, there is.
The story, which I get. I'm just not used to playing games with so much dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think even with that, I paid my own money for this. I thoroughly enjoy it. So
yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to play more. I don't know if I'm going to stream more or not. Probably just because I feel compelled and obligated to because I got it for free. Again, hashtag free product, but it wasn't a sponsored stream or anything, so all my opinions are my own. So it was a game I was already planning to buy anyway, so I just happened to get a free copy, so that was very nice.
Right.
Otherwise, I played a bit of Tunic, and that was fun. Tunic is a really fun little isometric action game, I guess, adventure game. Feels like the Legend of Zelda, like the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, except it's a little 3D and it's a little Dark Soulsy. Because like when you die, then you lose all your stuff, and you have to go back to your former self to get all your stuff back. And there's a lot of like bonfire type mechanics, like Dark Souls or any of those types of games, where when you rest and get your health back, your potion gets healed. You get potion again, you get healed, but then also all the enemies are back. So it's very much like that. And I enjoyed it for what I played. I really like the aesthetic more than the actual game itself. So like the stuff where you can see you collect stuff on the overworld, they're actually old like instruction booklets for like pieces or pages of an instruction booklet. That's like an old NES booklet. So it reminds me a lot of like the original like Legend of Zelda NES book. And like when you get something that pertains to a certain thing, then you can understand the language. So then like before, like there was a sign that said something in a different language, but then once I got that piece of paper, then it said this house or something like that. So I think that's really cool. Just storytelling, just by when you get certain things, and you can learn more as it develops. It really does reward exploration for the most parts, but it still feels kind of linear. Um, but I don't know. I didn't play too much of it, but from what I played, I did really enjoy. So I'll probably go back to that again eventually. I played that on Game Pass on the PC with an Xbox controller. But yeah, I think that's an Xbox only game. So it's Xbox and PC. So um, yeah, no PlayStation for that one. Yeah, that's honestly pretty much it. I didn't play any dot hack or anything this week, so oh, I guess I played some Smash Bros, but I lost, so like there's no point to talk about that.
Any yes, I loved watching him for a little bit. Him and one of our other friends, Alex, that listens to the show. Shout out to him. Um, I'm waiting for you guys to do something that I play, but a fighting game. Then I am all aboard for that. So hopefully that will be some turtles. Hopefully pretty soon with their Cowabunga collection, or the Revenge of Shredder. Is that what it's called? Revenge of Shredder?
Shredder's
Turtle?
Revenge, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. Either one of those, I am definitely down there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty simple. I guarantee Alex can probably tell you one of the games I've been playing very heavily, which is Halo Infinite again.
of course.
Uh, I have come with a new challenge for myself, and that is to move up the ranks in ranked battles. There, we're trying to get Alex to play a little bit so we can all play in a foursome. But this one's going to shock you. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing on Switch.
Oh, I know, I've seen.
Yeah. Don't know why. I've just been like in the mood to play Animal Crossing, which, for me, I think maybe it's a mental health thing of just like having something to do where it's not, oh, I gotta do this or do this, or Halo where it's, you're on the move all the time. I think it's just fun. So that no hidden trophies this week. I think I'm pretty much tapped out from the last couple of weeks. As you guys saw my purchases in previous episodes, I went a little too far. So a little tapped out for a little bit, but that's okay.
You know what you should really play if you're looking for something that's like a mental health thing? Segue. Have you heard of Unpacking? It's on
Yeah.
Game Pass on PC. I played like a few levels of it, and it's very just soothing, calming music, and you're just unpacking things, and you just put them in different places. Like the most stressful things in the game is that sometimes you have a box that's in the kitchen, and then you find like a I don't know, like a toothbrush, and you're like, oh, that's meant for the bathroom, so you go put it in the bathroom. Like, there's just so much stuff that you can do in here, and that's just really all it is. But
I think I saw Vex playing that actually.
yeah, Vex was playing that a couple days ago, maybe last night, depending on when recording.
A friend of the show.
Yeah, for sure. Check out that Simpsons episode we did. It's really fun. Um, but yeah, I definitely recommend that game to a lot of people, especially if you have Game Pass, because it's really, really fun.
Yes, and take care of your mental health. I think that's super important. I know we always joke on the show, but yeah, definitely if you take that self-care time.
You know what else is self-care? I'm gonna segue again. I'm sorry.
Oh, segue.
I feel like this episode isn't gonna be that long, so segues away. I have this breaking news. Have you seen this?
I have not.
Audio listeners, I guess I've been showing stuff on the screen, so I'm sorry. Back to the Future, the DeLorean time machine. They call it the time machine, but it is a DeLorean, and it's $170. But it looks like it transforms into all three versions. So
I noticed the white walls, the tires.
Yeah. Let's see.
Those.
Yeah. Because this is like the second version, because those tires go like that. And then I guess the third version is just the regular one. That's the first movie.
God, I love Lego for this reason right here.
Yeah, like I love my Seinfeld thing, and that wasn't that much, but how likely are you to purchase this item as soon as it came out? Thank you for your feedback.
I will tell you, if you do not buy that the day that it comes out, you will not see one.
You can only buy it from their website, I think.
Yeah.
So you can't buy it early either. Like even if you're like a member or whatever, you can't buy it. Because I got the Seinfeld thing early, but yeah, apparently you can't get this one early. So I don't know. I just thought I should bring this to everyone's attention. If you like the DeLorean, if you like Back to the Future, one of my favorite trilogies. I'm gonna spoil for a future Back to the Future episode. My favorites go 1, 3, 2.
Really?
Yep.
I want to say mine go. Believe it or not, 1, 2, 3.
2 is just I don't know. 2 has a lot of weird stuff in it, and
it's too difficult.
It's too close to home now, you know, with the alternate future with Biff Tannen Trump, but and Biff Tannen Towers.
Biff. Yeah, you did. Okay, I'll move on from that. That's fine.
Yeah. But
I was one of those people. Do you remember when they came out with those Nike Max light up shoes?
Oh yeah,
the Fox. I was one of those people that logged in when they put them up for auction. At $300, I stopped, and I watched these shoes go for $15,000. I'm thinking, oh, $300-$400. They're gonna go for it. Nope. Oh God, I love those shoes.
I'm upset that I never got the Pepsi. Was it Pepsi Max or what was it? There's something Pepsi Free.
Yeah, I think so.
I forget. No, it wasn't Pepsi Free. Pepsi Free is a joke that he says. Now this is a Back to the Future episode where he goes back into 1955. He's like, "Oh, I'd like a Pepsi Free." He's like, "Free? That costs money or something like that. You don't get Pepsi for free."
I love it. The first one where he's like, "I'll take a Pepsi," and he goes, he's like, what was it? If you want one of those, I'm gonna give it to you. Like, he's like, I'll have a coffee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, I think we should do an episode just on Back to the Future. I need to rewatch them. But yeah,
I love those movies. But anyway,
do you know what's not as cool as Legos is a new Witcher game. Now, before everyone knocks me, I have played about an hour of Witcher 3, which I think is a great looking game. But this is what worries me is yes, they announced that they are working on a new Witcher game. There's been hints all kind of there, and they show like in the snow for the non-visual people. It's the chain that he wears in the snow says Witcher. So there you have it. But this is my fear: is yes, they're going to do a new Witcher game, but then they're not going to support Cyberpunk anymore. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be like a bye. We totally messed it up.
Supposedly, what I've seen, this Witcher game is going to be using Unreal Engine 5 instead of the Red Engine, because they know that the Red Engine is jank and not good, or not optimized, I guess.
Right.
Whereas Unreal Engine 5 is a lot easier for things, especially for like porting and things like that, just because like we've seen the videos and stuff of like the Unreal thing where it's just like, oh, you can make anything, any size, any whatever you want, and it can pretty much go anywhere. And like that's how stuff like Fortnite goes everywhere. But they said that Cyberpunk is still going to be supported, and or at least the DLC is still going to be made in the Red Engine, just because yeah, it's still being used for the development of the upcoming 2077 expansion. But like that's all they really talk about Cyberpunk. It's just the expansion or the DLC. Like you said, I wonder if they're just gonna just drop it like immediately.
I think they're going to because this is the thing: is the Project Red was on fire, and they announced this Cyberpunk game, and everyone was like, "It looks awesome," you know. And we on earlier episodes, me, you, Spencer, and talks about it. I was excited for it. I got it for Christmas that year, booted it up, and heard all the rumors about it not working, but I was like, nah, that's not true. It crashed like 6 times, or you would go and you couldn't do one of the missions because
Yeah,
all you do is walk up and pick up something, and it wouldn't do that.
I really
Or
wanted to get it. Like I think I said that I didn't want it, but I was like, I'll probably pick it up or something like that. I think that's what basically what I said. But I know Jesse Cox was in a mission, and you could just like hang out with him
yeah,
and like drive him around town or something. But as far as I know, this game actually works now. So like there is
yeah.
that, but like it works on consoles and stuff. But when this expansion comes out, is that going to break the game again? Probably.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are like, well, look at some of the other ones like No Man's Sky and stuff like that. Um, any of the other games that have had problems, let's just use Battlefront 2. Uh, their problem was DLC packets or like microtransactions. And then No Man's Sky was, hey, we're going to show a bunch of stuff that's not in the game. Um, and there was little glitches, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I mean, I think if they're running on the Unreal 5, it would look really, really good. You know, maybe I'll give it a try at that point. But yeah, I don't know. I did, I was reading the same one, but they're like, they're just trying to forget of what happened with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Uh, so I get it. I get it. So, and there's no date, right? It just says we're
Yeah,
working on
there's no date at all. So
it. Well, there you have it, folks. Now let's talk about something that I actually thought was really cool, which was Hogwarts Legacy. There was a state of play recently, and they showed off the game. Um, I thought that looked really cool. Uh, graphics were a little bit off, I thought, but
mhm.
this is early. They still got some time to crisp it up. I thought it was cool. So you go in, you make your character, and then they put you in the sorting hat, and then
Mhm.
the house. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Um, this is going to come out this year, supposedly. Now, this is not a Sony exclusive, right? I think you said
It's
before
even
it's going to
coming
be.
on Switch.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
how.
yeah. I don't know how. But
I saw a picture. It was underneath one of the people, like Wario64 or whatever. Someone responded to them, and it was just like Nintendo Switch version, and it just had Lego Harry Potter. Because like the Switch, I feel like the Switch couldn't run this game. I mean, it ran Witcher 3 technically, but like a lot of
right,
that was just like, oh, that's cool that the Switch ran Witcher 3, but it's all really not good and not optimized.
no,
Like, but people bought it because they're like, oh, this is really cool. It runs on the Switch. So buy it on a console that you probably already have. Like, if
uh,
you don't have a Switch, then sure, buy it. But like, no, you shouldn't be supporting this.
yeah. This is definitely going to be a PlayStation 5 game
Mm-hmm.
in my house, but this takes place well before Harry Potter. I think
Late
it's like 1900s or 18.
late 1800s.
Okay, so late 1800s. Um, what I thought was cool was, in the trailer they showed a couple of the ghosts that have been in the Harry Potter movies. They're ghosts then as well. Um,
Nearly headless Nick.
yep. Um, and all the main things are there. So uh, the combat looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you do like, um,
There he is.
yep, when you're doing the battles, that looks really fun. Obviously, this is going to be like open world, and I think it's going to be like a huge multiplayer aspect to this. Um, but I think they're on the right track. Now, what are your thoughts on like what you saw like gameplay wise?
So, without addressing the elephant in the room of J.K. Rowling and her stuff, which there is a great article about that. I think it's on IGN,
Yeah,
but that talks about like, should you buy this game if you feel this way about certain things? Like, do you trust her? For as far as what the game is, I think it looks very interesting. I think it looks very good, but like you said, the graphics look very rough. It's very alpha footage. I
right.
hope that the game doesn't look like this, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if it looked very similar to this. This is their first game, I think, besides like a mobile game. Portkey Studios or whatever they're called, like they're new ish.
Yeah,
Like, um, yeah, I think they have like one game that's on like mobile maybe, and that's it. But I'm optimistic for this game, and just I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time I show some hesitation just because of like I've been burned before on these types of games before, but hopefully it will be fun. Like I didn't enjoy um I almost said Last Jedi. I mean, I didn't enjoy Last Jedi. But what's the game? Fallen Order. I did not enjoy Fallen Order, like hardly at all. But a lot of that was because of the weird combat, and also because it was on a PS4 and not PS5. I feel like the PS5 probably fixed a lot of its issues. So I'm really curious to see how this game runs on all the other systems besides like the current system. But yeah, everything about it though, like else, like story wise and all of that, looks very interesting. Looks very cool. I like how you can just like make stuff whenever you want in your room of requirements. And the cool thing is because it's Harry Potter, it all looks the same. Like it still all looks very memorable to like the books and the movies and stuff, because even if it is the late 1800s, like they don't really use technology, so it looks very modern still.
yeah. I think the cool thing was is the I mean, they got the thing of creating your own character and going through the years. Um, I've already got my character. His name is going to be Sir Peter Griffin. He's going to have green pants and a white dress shirt with
Mm.
glasses and brown hair. I'm not even kidding. If you play this game and I am there, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, that's Ben from Get Out of Gaming," because that is my character. My character on Animal Crossing is Peter Griffin, and he lives on Quahog. So
All right.
yeah, Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, it just said what I can't remember. They did talk about a date. I know, just said this year, didn't they?
They said I think holiday 2022. Um but oh yeah, there was another thing. You kind of mentioned it about like how they just show you like at the sorting hat and stuff. I don't know if they showed us like you can customize your character, but I don't know if they showed us if you could um if you were only stuck in Gryffindor, because that's possible. I really think that's possible. Like you have other friends, as you could see in there. You have other friends in other houses, um, and that's really cool because I feel like they don't really explore that a whole lot, at least in the books and
Right.
the movies. It's very much like Gryffindor is this clique, and then Slytherin's this clique, and all that. But like you have a friend and stuff, so like yeah, I'm really curious to see if we are stuck in a Gryffindor body. And if we are, I'm a little disappointed because I think it'd be really cool to actually be sorted into different houses. And then the gameplay like changes a little bit depending on like what your expertise in. Like you know how like in a game like where there's certain like hidden stats or whatever, or certain like attributes to where the beginning like you choose a different class or whatever. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
it'd be really cool if like Ravenclaw, since they're smart, like maybe they're better at potions or something like that. So you're better at that thing. Gryffindor would have more strength or like or more something. But like yeah, I think that'd be really cool and to do. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Right. And I think the big thing will be is not only that, but are they going to do that? But how, but you also got to think like this is before like slithering was like bad, because there's no Voldemort. So
Yeah.
they're all like, pretty cool at this point. We'll have to kind of wait and see at holiday. I do think that in the holiday, this will be a PlayStation Plus exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but it just has that feeling of like, hey, happy holidays. This game's on us, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they did a whole state of play about it. It's not it's not like a straight to them. It's going to be on another console. So, um, yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be really cool, and we'll have to wait and see the holiday and see what they do. All right, so this story is kind of cool. So this is about the anniversary of the Nintendo Switch, which happened on March 3rd. Um, March 3rd, the system had come out March 3rd, 2017. So 5 years it's been on the market. We've
Mm-hmm.
seen Switches, Switch Lights, special editions, and then recently of last year, the Switch OLED. Um,
Yeah.
this is what's crazy is when the Switch came out, I had no interest in it whatsoever. I bought it for my kids, barely played it.
Mm-hmm.
As time went on, I got a Switch Lite, played it. And now I would say weekly I play my Switch. They've got finally some Pokemon. Um, when they came out with the online, you could play NES and Super Nintendo. I played a lot more. I mean, what do you think? Like, maybe what do you think? How has it come from where it first came out?
Um Switch was a really cool novelty in the very beginning, but there wasn't really any software even when it first came out. Like Breath of the Wild is really cool. And it is still pretty cool, I would say. But it's weird. I don't know. Like it's interesting how they chose to where there weren't many games out in the very very beginning. Like we didn't get Mario Kart until like a month or 2 months later. Um, but and then Splatoon 2 I think was later that year. But yeah, as far as the Switch goes, like I remember getting mine. I got it when it came out. So I got it on opening day, midnight launch
Right.
or whatever, and I took it home and I played it. Things that were an issue with it, I would say, didn't arise until much later, were like drift and all that stuff, where like it doesn't sense your controller quite right, and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of that hasn't been fixed yet, which is kind of unfortunate, being 5 years into it. Um, but I hope they fix some of that stuff soon, but at the same time, it seems like they don't really have to because people still buy it. But yeah, that first year it was a little rough in the beginning, but then eventually, like all these other games, like all their big hitters eventually came out that year, like Mario and all of that, Smash Brothers being teased because Smash Bros
Yeah,
didn't come out until 2018. Is that right? I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
I think I think what cracks me up is when they released what this was going to be, people knocked it. They're like, "Oh well, it's not as powerful as an Xbox One. It's not as powerful as a PS4."
Mm-hmm.
It's not really, um, but we're now in the cycle of next gen consoles with the PlayStation 5 and the Series X, and look at it still being a top seller
Yeah. Like
with these big dogs.
it doesn't have to be powerful. I mean, I made the argument earlier about like Witcher and stuff, but like there's a difference between games like that can actually were running or that are running and like designed for this Switch and they look very good and stuff. And then there's a difference of like the novelty of putting something like that on a Switch just to show that you can. Um it's just I don't know, it's mind boggling. But like stuff like Zelda or even the newest Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U finally got DLC, like its own DLC starting this year. It's actually out right now. I haven't played it yet, but I should. And then yeah, we have Mario Odyssey came out later that year, and that was a great game. People complain about that game because they like to complain about Mario games and the previous Mario games
I
and stuff like that. But like that was a really fun game. Yes, it was easy to find moons and stuff, but that's because Nintendo it still is, I feel, seeing their games as portable games, but with a bigger scope. Um, the reason why you saw moons, why you found so many shrines in Zelda, even is because it was made in the very much pick up and play and like drop put down. Um, because you can just do this little thing really quick. Oh, I have to go put down my Switch since I'm playing it in a handheld thing or it's about to die, something. Then you would put it down and charge it or do whatever else you're doing. The battery's still bad for me personally because I still have an original launch Switch.
yeah,
um, yeah, but I guess it's a chip in there that makes it better when you get a newer Switch. It's not really the battery itself, it's just the chip is
and
more optimized.
I will say when not only that, Animal Crossing came out right before the pandemic,
Yeah,
and people really needed
honestly.
something to do. Uh,
Right when it
and
happened, actually.
right, yeah,
Yeah.
and if you look at the numbers for that game are absurd. Uh,
Yeah.
it's one of their highest selling games on that console, which if you'd have told me that a game where all you do is pick apples and fish and decorate your house, but during the pandemic when we were all kind of on lockdown, people needed that to get through those times. I was fortunate enough to be stuck here with my most of my family here, but a lot of people weren't. They were stuck by themselves,
Yeah.
and it's a horrible thing to be stuck at home for long periods of time and you can't go because there's a pandemic. Um, and people just bought Animal Crossing like crazy. I know at one point I couldn't find it. I had to
Yeah.
go to like 4 different stores and I finally found one.
I downloaded mine
Yeah,
the
I
day
mean,
of. Yeah.
it's crazy like how it just blew up. Um, you got Smash Bros, of course, like you said, but then they have a lot of titles that came out that people didn't know were going to come out, like Metroid Dread.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see that coming, and it came out. Um, Not only did they re-release 2 Pokemon games, but we also got Sword and Shield, which are brand new, and they released a whole new story that's way before any of the stories.
Yeah.
So um, they are the little console that did, and to be honest, it sometimes I just want to play on my Switch.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, the Switch is definitely one of those systems where it's very nice and comfortable to like play in a bed compared to like it gives
yeah,
me It reminds me of a Game Gear. Like I'm just playing my Game Gear because it's heavy. Switch is heavy. Like it's light for what it is, but it honestly is pretty heavy. It's hard to hold it like this and play it comfortably. But yeah, like I play Sonic Mania on there. That's where I played all that. Honestly, yeah. You know what? We're gonna pull this up. I have it right here.
Yeah, I think also like some of the small titles they came out with. Like I'm gonna shout out one, Super Robot Wars. I think that's one that people are like never probably heard of. It's a big series overseas.
Yeah,
Uh,
and 3DS
this
and stuff.
game this game looks amazing on the console. Um, it's tons of anime, you know, robots and people from anime over there. Like I showed Alex a video. Spike showed up from Cowboy Bebop
Yep.
and played the actual music. That's a little game that could. One our friend Zach was actually talking about it too, and I said I own one of them. Amazing, and those prices are going up on those. But
Mm,
there was a ton of independent titles that came out for this little system on the Nintendo Store. If you had the Nintendo Online membership, they
mm,
were releasing games on there that you just can't go out and buy. And if you could, some of those games on the NES side were expensive.
yeah.
Uh, Even on N64, that you N64 now, some of those games are really expensive games.
Yeah.
So, if you did find it, you're going to drop a couple $100 on some of them. Anything Zelda is expensive. Not like ungodly, but even if you pay $60 for those games that were on that for N64,
Yeah.
uh, hell, they got a partnership with Sega. So now you can play Sega Genesis titles on your Switch on the go. It's all part of it. So I mean, just looking at what it was able to do in a short amount of time, and if you look at their numbers, they're still selling them like crazy. They're not in stores even now.
Yeah, only just recently I've been able to find some in stores, but yeah, generally you don't find much in stores for honestly for any console. But especially for Switch cuz like they're cheaper and I don't know, they appeal more to consumers and to kids, and especially because they are personal handheld devices. So like I mean like with your family, like you have a few of them because like it's not just like the PlayStation. It's not like anyone can just play that at all times. Like it's very much a oh, I don't know, someone took this one into their room and they're playing it on their bed. Like they're not even playing it on a TV. So
I'm,
um yeah.
I don't know the video viewers can they see it. My Animal Crossing Switch box is back there.
Mm,
I actually bought that for my son because he got an OLED for Christmas. Um,
yeah.
you know, right now in my family we have three,
Mm,
and uh, I know my 14-year-old son. We have a Gen 1, like the picture there, the red and the blue Joy Cons. Uh,
Gen 1.
yeah, so he wants a new Switch, a newer Switch. Doesn't have to be OLED, but he wants a newer one. So I imagine at some point he will go out and buy one as well.
Yeah.
So we'll have four Switches in this household. You know,
Yeah.
so I just think it's crazy to talk about a console that I wish all those people that were talking about how it's going to fail, um, where are those people today? I mean, I was listening to the CU podcast, and they both, Patty and both, were calling out people that were like, "Oh, this thing's crap. It's never going to last. It seems too gimmicky. No one wants to do that." Well, let's remember that Nintendo is the king of handheld consoles.
Well, that and like yes, the Wii U didn't do great. But so people like to just I don't know talk about that instead. But like the Wii was quote unquote too gimmicky, and people don't want that like type mentality. And um, look at that, look how well that did. Um, yeah, the Switch is definitely that console that just keeps on chugging, and it's not even done yet according to them. Like it's still in its life cycle. Like they're not talking about new consoles or anything just yet. They're still working on the Switch. So
I will tell you when they do a new console, it'll have the same thing where you can do TV and go handheld
I
mode.
feel like it would have to because if it didn't, then that seems like a weird misstep.
I just think it'll be a more powerful system.
Mm-hmm.
what they will do is they'll say, hey, you can play your regular Switch games on here.
Yeah.
Or you can play these new ones. And before anyone knocks, a more powerful Switch with better screen, like the OLED, better processing. I mean, that's gonna be a hard one to like beat, because if you think in the handheld market, there's nobody else.
Yeah.
And for the record, the Xbox Live or the Steam Deck or whatever, that's not even the same. I mean, the Steam Deck is great. I've seen a couple videos on it,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have the power of what this console will get, like Pokemon and Mario Kart and Animal Crossing. You know,
Yeah.
totally hack your Stream Deck or whatever. But um, you know, when I saw this, it kind of reminded me back when the Game Boy came out, and people were like, "Oh, that looks dumb." Well, that is a huge selling console. So
Yeah. So
happy anniversary to you.
happy
There.
anniversary. $299 when it came out. It still is $299, I believe.
I know, right?
But the OLED is $349.
It
And
is. I'll tell you, seeing it, it's totally worth the $350.
oh, it
You
is
can
for sure.
you can knock me all you want, but watching my son play Zelda on there, I can tell a big difference.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's
so
just a lot of cool things. A lot of cool things about this console. Um yeah, and like you said, like even the light and stuff, like it's interesting, like that they kind of went back on that, which was weird, but I mean it worked. So,
my wife still wants a coral one, like one of the pink ones,
mhm.
which she rarely plays on TV. I think that'd be perfect for her. That'd be
Mhm.
perfect. I had one, and I guess I'm old. It just, the screen wasn't big enough for me. That's
Well,
why
that and like it's weird. So like what it sounds like is that all switches have the power to be on the TV and be on the screen, but they block it on the Switch lights because that's not what they are.
it's funny.
So I think that's what they're
Oh,
marketed as. Yeah.
oh. Um, now, what do you think they're going to do going forward? This is their 50th anniversary. I know that their sales are on fire. Do you picture anything happening big with them besides game releases between now and the holidays?
Now in the holidays, probably not. Especially because the OLED just came out, and I feel like the OLED and what other people have said is that the next gen, not next gen, the Switch Pro that was supposed to come out was the OLED. It's just that chip shortages and stuff caused it to
Yeah.
be less powerful. And I feel like that's still the case. So no, I don't think we're gonna see a new console or anything. We'll probably see more games, obviously. Maybe a new system, and then maybe GameCube controllers. I don't know, like something like
Well,
that.
they already have the USB GameCube controllers.
Yeah, but I mean, they could release official Switch versions that aren't like Hori or whatever.
That would mean that they would have to release GameCube
That's
games
what I'm saying. Yeah.
online. I still have a hope that they'll do Game Boy. I mean,
Well, supposedly they have renewed their um, copyright on some of those things or trademarks or whatever that one of the things are for certain games like Minish Cap and Metroid Fusion, I think Zero Mission, and there's some other games here or there. So it's possible.
So happy anniversary, Nintendo Switch. Well worth it. So we've got a little bit of time, and I want to kind of like re-talk about something real quick
Okay.
that we talked about in previous episodes. I want to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pack that's coming out. So I want to talk about it because I don't know. Have you fully looked of what's on that's going to be on that game?
13 games. So many games. Um yeah, it's I could probably say off the top of my head. 3 Game Boy games. It comes with the original NES Ninja Turtles game, like the side scroller one. It comes with TMNT 2, the arcade version, and the NES version, and then the Super NES, Super Nintendo, and arcade version of Turtles in Time. It comes with Manhattan Project. It comes with Hyperstone Heist. It comes with all three versions. Wait, three or two versions of the fighting game. Are there only two versions? Or are there three?
There's three.
Okay, so there is one for Genesis. Okay.
Yeah, there was Genesis, Super Nintendo, and then Nintendo.
Yeah, so like I know for sure the NES and Super Nintendo were. So yeah, those. I think I already said the three other things. So like, yeah, I think that's all of them. I think I said everything. But yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So going through this list, they have Turtles, obviously arcade. They have the Turtles in Time, which right now, the only way to really play those is if you buy that arcade one up for $600. God, like I am super excited, and I was reading because people were upset about the $40 price tag.
That's an amazing price for all those expensive games.
Yes, and I will tell you, just Tournament Fighters for NES, that's a $200 game.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Tournament Fighter for Super Nintendo, I know the Hyperstone Heist is an expensive game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these are expensive games. Now, Manhattan Project is not, about $40.
Yeah.
But like you were a Super Nintendo kid, so you've probably never played the Hyperstone Heist on Sega Genesis.
Nope. I've only played Turtles in Time and I guess the other two that were on NES. So
that I will tell you, man, I loved Hyperstone Heist. It is basically just a side scrolling like the other ones. It's short. But what cracks me up is the 3 Game Boy games, All the Foot Clan, Back from the Sewers, and Radical Rescue.
yeah.
When was the last time you've seen those games anywhere? I mean, like legitimately, like anywhere.
I don't even know what they're worth because I've never seen them.
Exactly. So, I am going to buy this game digitally day one.
Yep.
If they're, I'm trying to read here. They said there's going to be co-op.
Yeah, there is online.
Yep. With local couch play for all titles.
Yeah, local, and then also most of them have online. There's 2 of them that don't. I think it's the Genesis games.
That would make sense. I'm telling you right now that if we if when this comes out, okay, so that's surprise. That was not too bad, but complete in box is $140, $10 loose.
Yeah, for Follow the Foot Clan, I pulled up price charting for audio listeners, and yeah, $10, $50 for a box, $8 for a manual. Just build it. It's cheaper than getting complete.
I will tell you, like, and I own so on NES, I own the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. I own the arcade game. I do not own Manhattan Project, and I definitely don't own Tournament Fighters. There, but I think the big thing to take away from this is, yes, this is more expensive than Castlevania. This is more expensive than Contra, but what you're getting is fantastic. Like we were already psyched about the new Turtle game coming out, but this is just, oh my gosh, I cannot wait. And there's no, it just said 2022, nothing else. Wow, that's gone up in price. Do you remember when it was a disc replay for $199?
Yeah, you should have bought it.
My wife would have killed me.
Yeah, but then you could show her, look how much it is now.
I mean, it's going up. I mean, if you have a complete in box, dang.
Or graded. Look at that graded price. That's ridiculous.
I mean, in my lifetime, I will never own anything graded. Period. And we were actually, Alex and I were just talking about a auction that happened for an NES title known as Stadium Events. that went for $30,000. So out of box, 30 grand. And it was all donated.
Yeah. I wonder if that changed the price. How much was it?
30,000.
Okay, I guess it's not on here because it was a charity.
Yeah. So basically, it's for the video game historical. I can't remember where they are. They're not the video game museum,
Mm-hmm.
but they are the preservation of video games in general.
Oh, yeah, I know who they are. Yeah.
'Cause the one girl that's mainly running it was a part of Metal Jesus's crew. Kelsey, they own that pink
Pink Gorilla.
gorilla. Yeah. So, man, I'm just telling you right now that everyone should buy this because this is going to be the start of them bringing back these old games that we want to preserve.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's going to be on every system: PlayStation 4 and 5, Series X and S, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. There's no reason why you should not be buying this.
Yeah.
$40. And that way you don't have to buy an arcade one up and you can win this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna stream this game totally.
Oh, for sure.
When you play, who do you play as?
Donatello.
Okay.
Always. Always.
I usually choose Raph because that's like my personality.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes for the games, it's easier to pick Leo.
Yeah. Well, that's why I choose Donatello because it's like either Leo or Donnie. They have the longer range.
Which is cool because they show, if you watch the end of the video, it shows them fighting the Turtles 2 characters.
Mm-hmm.
The main ones they fight with Vanilla Icing in the background.
Oh, Toka and Razar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're exclusive to the Super Nintendo version. They're not in the arcade version. So, because the arcade version has less levels, I believe, because it's an arcade game.
Yeah.
But
well, I want to go on my little tangent. I want to tell you to buy it. I think that game's going to be fantastic. I will buy it, and if they do a limited run, I will buy the top limited run if it comes with figures.
Mm-hmm.
I may have to sleep on Alex's couch, but I will do it.
Well, we have 2 couches here, so
yes. Well, that has been our show today. As always, we always ask if you can please help support us by going where you get your favorite podcast, downloading this episode. These episodes drop on Wednesday of every week. Also, go to our YouTube. Help us get to 100 subs. I think we're at 30 now, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I forget.
Maybe that's the salesperson in me talking out of my ass.
Yeah.
But once we get 100, we can have a proper URL. Also, want to kind of do a shout out to Patrick for the RPGaymer. He was on our last episode. Patrick is an awesome guy. They have a podcast as well. They actually just started a Patreon as well. Go support the guys, support what they do. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And they are on the same thing. They post every 2 weeks. Their last episode about Zelda was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They do what we do. So show them support and love. But other than that, I think that's the only thing left to say is get at it.
Get at it.